We all know that of all the things we can expect out of a second Trump term is that this man is going to stop at nothing to go after his political enemies. Whether that is through prosecutions, whether it's through lawsuits, perhaps it's through the IRS simply harassing people that Donald Trump doesn't like, which of course we know he wanted to do during his first administration, but he got too much pushback. There will be no pushback in the second Trump term, and that is what makes this so terrifying. But the big question, of course, is who's first? We know eventually he's going to go after everybody. The big question is, who does he go after first? Well, luckily, Politico was kind enough to go ahead and put together a list of all of the people that Donald Trump has pledged to prosecute once he retakes office. And in no particular order, we of course begin with President Biden. President Biden, who Donald Trump has said he will appoint a real special prosecutor to go after the most corrupt president in the history of the United States of America, Joe Biden, and the entire Biden crime family. Which then, of course, leads us to Hunter Biden, which Hunter Biden may be a moot point because I can't imagine President Biden not giving a blanket pardon to his own son. At this point, I don't even care, man. Like, just do it. Just give him the pardon. You know you need to. You know you should. You know if you don't, he's probably going to jail. Pardon your son. It is the right thing to do, and you have the power to do it, and that'll prevent Donald Trump from being able to do what he wants to do to your kid. Save him. He may not deserve it, but you have the power to do it, and you should do it as a father. And I think he will. Obviously, next up, Vice President Kamala Harris, right? She was the so-called border czar, even though she actually wasn't. Trump has pledged that people have been murdered because of her action at the border, and she should be impeached and prosecuted. Barack Obama. In 2020, Trump accused Obama of treason for what he describes as the FBI's surveillance of his 2016 presidential campaign, but that was not actually on the campaign. That was on his foreign policy advisor. In August of this year, Trump posted a message on Truth Social calling for public military tribunals for Obama. Hillary Clinton, lock her up, right? Need I say more? He wants to go after Hillary Clinton. Nancy Pelosi, he suggested recently he's going to go after her and her husband for possible insider trading and securities violations, which, I don't know, maybe. There's a lot of trades there, folks. Nancy Pelosi's made a lot of money, so has her husband, and the trades have all been timed kind of perfectly to maximize profit. That's worth looking into, but if you're going to do it to Pelosi, you need to do it to everybody else in Congress too. This is not a left issue. This is a both sides issue. One of the few times you have both sides issues. Next up, New York Attorney General Letitia James. And Donald Trump has, of course, said that she should be arrested and punished accordingly for going after him. Manhattan Judge Arthur Engoron. Trump said that Engoron should be arrested and punished accordingly as well. So just kind of using that blanket, punished accordingly. Liz Cheney. Trump declared on Truth Social in March that Cheney should go to jail. In June, he reposted a message calling Cheney guilty of treason. And then in the final days of the campaign, of course, he suggested sending her to fight wars overseas. Jack Smith, of course, is somebody Trump wants to go after. He has said that Smith must go to prison. And in August, he posted a message calling Jackal Smith a career criminal and said that he should be prosecuted for election interference and prosecutorial misconduct. Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg, there is a case to be made that the prosecutor should be prosecuted. The district attorney should be prosecuted, Trump said in May. Former chair of the Joint Chiefs of Staff Mark Milley, who Donald Trump accused of treason and said this is an act so egregious that in times gone by, the punishment would have been death. James Comey, because Trump says Comey allegedly leaked classified information. Former FBI agents Peter Strzok and Lisa Page. We all know Donald Trump hates them. Representative Adam Schiff. Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg. He accused Zuckerberg in September of a shameful plot against the president and said, "We are watching him closely. If he does anything illegal this time, he'll spend the rest of his life in prison." Former Manhattan DA or Assistant DA Mark Pomerantz, who of course wrote the book. He was initially the prosecutor going after Trump before Alvin Bragg came in. Michael Cohen, he said Cohen should be prosecuted for lying and all of the tumult and cost to put the DA's office through. And of course, members of the January 6th Select Committee, who Donald Trump has repeatedly said over the years should all be prosecuted for investigating what happened on January 6th, which reminds me of one of the most horrible things of Trump coming into office. All of those Capitol rioters are probably about to get full pardons, which is just disturbing on so many levels that I don't even want to think about that. But yes, that will happen. The funniest part about this list that I just read you, again from Politico, is that that's not even the full list from Politico. I just got tired of reading the names. There's more, and there will be more. And of all the promises that Donald Trump has not kept over the years, I do believe that his promise to go after his political enemies is real. This will be the one promise that Donald Trump actually keeps. But as I've repeatedly said, it's important to remember, it doesn't stop there, because it never stops there. He will have a cabinet, he will have a DOJ filled with people that will never tell him no. Not a single staffer in that White House will ever tell him no, and if they do, they're gone forever in a heartbeat. He will have clearance to do these things. Even if there is no reason to investigate these people, he will make their lives hell by launching investigations, forcing them to spend hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars on legal fees, lawyers and whatnot, and essentially try to ruin their lives that way, even if it doesn't result in a criminal conviction. He doesn't care about the results. He just cares about making their lives hell because they did it to him. And once he runs out of those people, then he moves further down the line. I don't know where I am on that line. I don't know where you are on that line. But we're somewhere on it eventually when he runs out of bigger people. So just remember, this is a promise he's going to keep. And once it starts, it never stops. Did you know that you might be missing out on wonderful content from me? I mean, you're here already because clearly you like what you see. So if you're not already, please do subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like the video, share them with your friends and family, but also follow me across the rest of the social media world. And it's not that hard to do. Whether it's X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, on every one of those platforms, you can find me at the username @FarronBalanced. Simple enough, right? So get on it. And if you don't feel like going to each one of those outlets individually, lucky for you, we have links in the description of this video to take you right to my pages across all of social media. So don't miss a minute. And while you're at it, make sure you're also subscribed to the Ring of Fire YouTube channel, which I have been hosting for many, many years now. We've got more than 1 million subscribers over there, and there is fresh content over there every single day of the week. So again, if you're not subscribed, subscribe to this channel, and while you're at it, go subscribe to Ring of Fire at youtube.com/The Ring of Fire and @FarronBalanced across every social media platform that, of course, is not considered just a far-right hellscape. Well, maybe Twitter is, but that's a story for a different day.